welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario, Canada. First of all, let me wish you a very Merry Christmas and best wishes for the holidays. It's Christmas Eve, and my husband's upstairs making dinner. And I thought I would just do a little quick. I've been playing around today with the Enduring Beauty um, bundle, and I've just, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So I was playing with that today, and so I thought I haven't done a video for a while, so I think I'll just hop on while he's making dinner and do a little quick um, project for you. And yeah, I think I'll just do that. Okay, let me switch down to my desk because obviously I have nothing to say. Let me go down here to my desktop. So what I've done today is I made a couple of different cards using this bundle. And so what the bundle consists of is obviously the stamp set. Enduring Beauty is so pretty. I'm not typically a floral type person, but I really love this. And there's also a set of dies, which you can see in this one. I cut out the element. And then I also use the leaves and things to cut out the some other little things on there. And then it also comes with a label. So I used the label for this particular one. This one I just fussy cut around the sentiment. But and then it also comes with the stencils to do the florals. So there's 5 stencils in all. So you have like the main flower and the leaves, and then some detail for the flowers and detail for the leaves, and then the inside of the flowers. So I'm going to play with that today and just show you how simple it is to use stencils. And I've seen other companies' stencils being used on YouTube and things like that, and I just love the ease of use. Like, it's so easy to use them. So I thought it's very dreary here today. It's been foggy and very cold and damp. So I just stayed in the basement and I just played, and I really enjoyed my day today. So let me show you how easy these cards are to make. So with this one, I stamped the floral first with black memento, and I really like it. But on this one, I stamped it with Smoky Slate, which is a really soft gray. Colors did I use here? I used Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, and Crushed Curry in the middle. Oh no, with this one I think I used Wild Wheat, but I probably would use Crushed Curry the next time. And then on this one I used Fresh Freesia for the back flower, for the back of the flower. And then I used Highland Heather, and then in the middle I used Gorgeous Grape. Isn't that pretty? And then on the leaves for this one I used Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green. And on this one I used Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. Yeah, so you can just mix and match your colors. Now I do have this Colored Buddies that Stampin' Up! Popped out the last week or the week before, and I will put the PDF of this on my blog over the next day or two, and it just gives you some ideas of, you know, if you're going to use multiple greens, which greens would you use, and, you know, Pool Party and Coastal Cabana, and, you know, the different grays and things like that. But this is a handy little tool. So I'm going to have this on my blog. And also there's another tool that I've used in the past, and it is the, oh, I forget what they call this. The color, I was going to say color catcher. It's not the color catcher. It's the color, oh, I forget what it's called. But so it has all the colors that go well, say with Azure Afternoon, all the colors that go well with Azure Afternoon, for instance, or Misty Moonlight. So sometimes, I don't know about you, but I struggle what colors to put with, you know, what colors. And this will just give you a bit of a helping hand to, you know, if you're using Night of Navy, you could definitely put these 3 together and they would look awesome, right? Petal Pink, Balmy Blue. Oops. Lost Lagoon. Really pretty. So I'm going to pop this as well on my blog. And then, so what I did with this was I just printed it out, and it prints out several pages. And then I just used my trimmer and cut them into rectangles. And then I put the matching cardstock on the back. You don't have to do that. This is the first year that I've actually done this part of it. I used to just do this part. And then I run it through my laminator. And then cut it again using my, you can use a guillotine cutter, you can use your trimmer. Now, if you're going to use your trimmer, grab an old blade. You know, don't throw out your old blades. Use it to cut out the harder stuff that, you know, precision doesn't matter, because you want to keep your good blades for your paper. So let's get started doing this. It's a lot of fun. Oh, before we get started, I just want to say that this, oh, I just dropped something. This bundle is actually going to be in the mini catalog, which goes live in about 2 weeks. And I can't show you the inside, but I can show you some of the stuff, you know, that's in it. And one of the things, of course, is the Enduring Beauty suite. So if you don't have a Canadian demonstrator and you would like to get your hands on one of these catalogs, please let me know. If you have placed an order with me in the last 6 months to a year, your catalog should have arrived by now. I have heard from some of my customers that they have received them already. And if you haven't, let me know. But, you know, be assured that it's on its way. It should be there any day. I think most of mine got theirs in the last week or so. Okay, so to get started, I am going to be using my Stamparatus. Now, the Stamparatus is no longer available, unfortunately, but there are many positioning tools out there that you can purchase. There's the Tim Holt. I don't know if the Tim Holt one is still available. He too was involved in that lawsuit with Petunia or whatever it's called. And but there is one. We Are Memory Keepers has one, and you know they are out there. So, and I really like it because it just helps you get a nicer stamp. So I've just got my cardstock. Now this is a 4 by 5 1/4, and I will be trimming it down to 3 3/4 by 4 after I get my stamp stamped on there. So I'm going to, I already have one. What did I do with it? Stamped out in the gray. So I already have one stamped out in Smoky Slate. So this one I'm going to do in the black memento, and just see which one I like better. I like them both. They both have a totally different look, but I'm just going to do this one in the memento. And if you're doing it this way, it's really easy to do multiples. As you can see, I did like 3 this afternoon. Well, 4 if you include this one. And even when you're doing the stenciling, if you're doing them all the same color, you don't even have to clean your stencil off in between changing the stencils. Just swap out your paper and Bob's your uncle. So you can see I didn't get a perfect stamp in the center of my flowers here, so I'm just going to go ahead and redo that. And that's the beauty of the Stamparatus, is that you can just restamp. So any positioning tools, if you don't have a Stamparatus, any positioning tool that will do the trick for you is perfect. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and give that a quick clean because I'm happy with my stamp there. Now this glass mat comes with this. You can see it's well loved already. I've only had it for a week or so. Comes with this cleaning spongy little cloth, as well as this silicone tray, which I'm going to be using later. And this is a joining gift if you choose to become a demonstrator during the month of January and February. So it's part of the celebration. So what celebration is, if you place an order of $60 or more, you qualify for free product. And for every $60 increment, you qualify for another. So there's no real limit to what you can earn. It just depends on, you know, the size of your purchase. And there's level 1 and level 2 items. And so with your mini catalog, you'll also receive the celebration brochure. And this outlines what you earn for free. So there's there's all kinds of things. There's stamps, dies, designer series paper, all kinds of things that you can get for free with a qualifying order. All right, so to get started, okay, so I said I was going to do yellow. So for the yellow one, I'm going to be using Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, and Crushed Curry. So we're going to start with the Lemon Lolly. So let me put down I'm just going to take this right to my glass mat. So I'm just going to grab some washi tape here. Washi tape to me is like packing tape. It always separates, and then you have these little wispy bits that you have to try and pry off the roll of tape here. There we go. So what I'm saying is it fights back. Oh. Holy moly, it's driving me crazy. It's sticking to me. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to tape this in place because I don't want it shifting. I don't want it shifting while I'm inking this up. I think my camera is just a little high. I'm just going to shift my camera down here a bit. Yeah, that's better. Sorry if that's making you a little squeamish there. There, you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just taping this down so that when I change my stencils, my my flower is not going to shift. Oh shoot, I have it upside down. Okay. I don't know why I always put it upside down, and I always end up having to swap it around. Okay. There. So one of the ladies in my group was asking, you know, what's the benefit of having a glass mat? I've never really used a glass mat before, but I'll tell you, today I really enjoyed using it because, you know, I can, if I get ink on here, I'm not fussed about getting ink on there. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. You know, and it just wipes up. And then the silicone mat, you can see I've used it a little bit to sort of clean my brushes. I love this thing. And when it's stuck on your glass mat, it doesn't shift, like it's on there. So I really like that. All right, so I've got my number 1. You can see number 1 in the corner there, kind of. So I'm going to figure out where that goes. So that's going to sit right there. Come on, cooperate. There we go. There, yeah. So it's going to sit there. I just need a couple of pieces of washi tape for that. See, it's doing it again. Come on. I'll fight with it later. Okay, so let me just straighten this up here. Okay, I'm just going to take that right to the mat because I don't want it to shift. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is my Lemon Lolly. So I've cleaned my brushes, and how I did that was I just really wiped them well on a microcloth. And I just throw these cloths in the washing machine. I'm still getting a bit of yellow off there. But that's okay because I'm using yellow. I just don't want to get dark yellow in my light yellowed ink pad there. Okay, so I'm gonna ink up my brush, and then I'm just going to lightly go over the whole flower. That looks so pretty. Now, if I wanted more intense color, I would just keep going over it, but I'd like this to be really light. So I'm going to leave it there. I got a little cat hair in there. No surprise. I have cat hair on everything. Okay, let's close that. So now I'm going to go to the second color, which is Daffodil Delight. Now I'm just going to take off a bit of the ink from my brush. Now this is a darker ink, and if I put a little bit of lighter ink in there, it's not going to bother it. But it's probably just a good habit to get into. So, oops, I have to change my stencil. So let me just lift my tape. Now, stencil number 2 is the leaves. So I'm going to do that one later. What I want is stencil number 3, which is the detail for the flowers. So you can see there's a notch in here. And when I did the flowers here, I had the notch in the top left corner. So I'm going to keep the notch in the top left corner. And then I'm going to just match up areas that coincide with the design, so that I'm only getting ink where I want it. So you can see I'm covering up. I wish I could zoom in. Ever since this upgrade on the phone, I can't zoom in anymore, and it drives me bananas. But I can see this is cut out exactly to the leaf. So that matches, and then this matches over here, so I know that I'm in a good spot here. So I'm just going to put my tape down to hold that in place while I add my Daffodil Delight. And so what this is going to do is give some dimension to the flowers. And when you're doing stenciling, sometimes you think, you know, like, did anything happen? But when you lift it, you will see how pretty that is. So you can see the two tones. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm just going to give this a little quick wipe with my cloth, because I don't want to transfer ink onto anything else. I'm just going to give a little spritz of, I almost said vinegar, isn't that weird? Alcohol, a little spritz of alcohol there. And I didn't do this one. I'll do this one while I'm thinking of it. Because when you go to switch colors and you haven't cleaned your stencils, you could transfer that color onto your card, and that wouldn't be a good thing. There, okay, so we've got those two colors done. So now I can go ahead and take stencil number 3, which is my leaves. And I'm going to maybe do the center of the leaves later. But right now I want to do the leaves here. Now, if I was doing a whole bunch of these, I would swap out the stencil and the card base and do all the same color. Like I would do all of the Lemon Lolly first, and then I would do all of the Daffodil Delight, and then I would do all of my greens and all of my whatevers that I'm doing. So let me grab this tape here. I'll line it up again. Here we go. Oops. There, that's good. So for this one, I'm going to use, I think, which ones will I use? Just looking for my cards that I had made earlier. I swear, I could have something in my hand. Oh, right in front of my face. Honest to God. Okay. So these ones were done with Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. And these were done with Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green. And I kind of think I like that with the yellow. It's just more subdued. I think I'm going to do the Old Olive and the Mossy Meadow with this one. And I came to the conclusion today that I don't have enough blending brushes. Somehow one of mine went missing. I don't know whether it was during a class or I don't know. It could, I just don't know. But I am missing one. But I think I'm going to order a few more because I've found I'm very limited with my colors. What I can work with here. All right, so I've got the Old Olive, and I just want to do a really light Old Olive. I don't want it heavy at all because the color on the flower is quite light, and I want to keep it that way. Roxy, stop. Roxy's loving the fact that we have carpet in here now, but she thinks it's a scratch pad, and it's like, no, kitty, it is not a scratch pad. She has a scratching tree just literally right outside my door here, so a little toad. All right, so there's my Old Olive. I'm just going to give it a little clean. Now, one thing I did do, oopsie, on one of my other cards, let me see, which one? Not that one, it was this one. What I did with this one, if you can see the glimmer on the inside of the flowers, I used Versamark with my stencil and then just put a clear embossing powder on top of it. And while I liked the look of it, that Versamark was a stinker to get off of the stencil. So just so you know, be prepared to do a major clean job when you have the Versamark on your stencils. Same as if you're using embossing paste. You don't want to let that sit on there because it will become like concrete. You definitely want to clean it as soon as you're finished with it. Oops, it's not straight. Just going to straighten that a little bit more here. Let's get that. I just want to line up these little doohickeys there. That's better. Okay, so now I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. And again, I'm going to try and use a fairly light hand. I don't want to have, I just want to shift that over a little bit. That's better. I don't want to have a really heavy Mossy Meadow on there, just a little bit. Because Mossy Meadow is quite dark, right? So I don't really want a dark presence. I just want to have some shading. So I'm just going to go really lightly. I hope Stampin' Up! Comes out with more of these stencils. I absolutely love this. I'm just going to take a peek. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look, how pretty. Ah, love it. All right, so I'm just going to give that a quick clean. Just set that right in there. Can you imagine? Just give that a quick dry. Now you want to be careful with these because they do have loops. Try not to catch the little pieces in your stencil, because if you lift them, then the ink will go underneath when you're trying to do your stenciling. So that's really pretty. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to come in with the center of the flowers. And I might just come in with a little bit of crushed curry, I think. So what I'm doing with this one is I'm lining up, there's like an arch right here and right here. So I'm lining those two up because I think if those two line up, then the rest of the stencils will be lined up. Okay, and where's my crushed curry? There we are. And again, I'm just going to use my yellow one because I used it with yellow before, and crushed curry is quite dark, so I don't think it matters that if I get a little bit of lighter on there. Now I don't want to get a lot of color. Again, I just want a little bit of shading just to make it a little bit. Boy, that really goes on dark. So you really want to have a light hand when you're doing this. Oh, that is so pretty. Beautiful. Yeah, look at that. It just finishes it. Okay, so let me get this out of here. And I'm going to give that a quick clean. Okay. So cute. So this is the Enduring Beauty decorative masks. Okay. And I'm telling you that because I'm going to be using a different one on the inside of the card as well. There. So let me just bring this closer to the camera and you can actually see the different shading. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So I'm going to move my tape over. It's still good, so I'm just going to put it over here so I can use it with the other stencil that I'm going to be using. Now, Stampin' Up! Doesn't call theirs stencils, they're called masks. Just so that when you're looking in the catalog, you're not looking for stencil, you're looking for the word mask. And they have several. There's a couple in the annual catalog as well. And then this one is in the spring mini that starts January the 5th. So there's the flower. So let me put that aside. And then I'm going to take a piece of 4x5 1/4. And same thing, I'm going to tape it down. And I'm putting as much, like as little tape as I can on the paper. I just don't want it to move. And the reason I'm doing that is because sometimes the tape could lift your paper, and you know, if it's on the inside of your card, then obviously you don't want that. So now for the sorry, this is not for the inside, it's for the outside. So for this one, I'm using the 4 square decorative masks. This is in the annual catalog, the 2023 to 2024 annual catalog. On page 136, you'll find them. And so this is one, actually, let me show you. They're actually beautiful. Where's my thingy? Here we are. So it's got this tile. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. I haven't really used these. I bought these during the summer and then I put them, well, then we started renovating. I've been in turmoil for weeks now, and then there's this one. I love that. And then this plaid-y kind of thing. And then this little square, random little square thing. This reminds me of like a video game. I don't know why. It just does. I don't play video games, but that's what it reminds me of. Okay, so let's put these away. So this one is called the 4 square, like 4 the number, square decorative masks in the annual catalog. So what I want to do with this is I'm just going to pop a piece of tape on it because I don't want it moving. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do a couple of random little spots. And the sample that they had in the catalog, I think it looks like they used Bonnie Blue. So I'm going to grab my Bonnie Blue, which I thought was kind of a weird color, but it looks great. So let me grab a brush. Now this is a purple brush. Well, I used it for purple. Make sure I don't have any ink on there. So let me take some Bonnie Blue. Oh, so pretty. I love this. This is one of my favorite colors. So what I want to do is I'm just going to randomly, very lightly, put a few little squares here and there. Now this is going on darker than I anticipated. I don't know if I like that. Not too sure. I don't know why it's going so dark. Let's have a look. I may switch. I think I can live with it. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's so dark, but you know what? That's okay. I'll live with it. All right, so let's get rid of our tape here. And so this is going to be on the front of our card. And put our tape over here. Let's get this a little. Now this is just alcohol. I got this little bottle at my beauty supply store for a couple of bucks. It's cute. And it's just rubbing alcohol that's in there. And you can use water, but the alcohol dries so quickly that you're not waiting for things to dry. Like it evaporates pretty well as quickly as you put it down. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is get some of this out of the way, and I'm going to grab my. Let me just move my inky business. So I'm going to grab my. What am I going to grab? My cut and emboss machine. And I am going to cut out my flower. So let me grab my die. And I'm just going to line that up like that. I just don't want it shifting while I'm running it through because I have it lined up well. All right, so let me just crank that through. And there, how pretty is that? Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so let's get this out of here. There, okay. All right, so let's see. I think with this one, I wasn't sure what color to do my card base, and I'm kind of gravitating, I think, towards let me grab an old olive as well as a crushed coriander. Let's see which one we like the best. So So Old Olive. Let's see. Here's Old Olive. Crushed curry. And maybe a Daffodil Delight. Okay, so let's see which one we like the best. So that's going to sit on here. Or we could use basic white too, for that matter. The basic white thick, and use that as the card base. So that's Daffodil Delight. Actually, I like that. Crushed curry. Not bad. Here's a thought. Let's put basic black behind it. So there's the basic black on the crushed curry. Not bad. And there's the basic black on Daffodil Delight. Also not bad. And then, whoops. That's not even basic black. That, I don't know what that is. That looks like, oh, that's not even basic black. It's Evening Evergreen. Good grief. It looked black in the light, but then when you compare it, it's like, oh yeah, what are you smoking? Okay. Okay, so let's try that again. So basic black on the Old Olive. Meh, don't love it. So it's one of these two. So Daffodil Delight, which I think I like, and Crushed Curry, which I also like. But I think I'm going to go with Daffodil Delight. All right, so we'll get those two guys out of the way. Let me grab my trimmer here. So I'm going to make two card base. I always make two when I'm doing card bases. So I'm going to score at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 inch side, and that's my light colored blade. So I'm going to score it, make sure it's lined up, score it at 4 1/4, and then I'm going to cut it on the 11 inch side in half at 5 1/2, and that's the darker blade is your cutting blade. All right, so what I need to do now is trim this black one to 4 by 5 1/4, and it is at 4 by 5 1/4, but I want to trim this one to 3 7/8. I think it's at 4 now, so I want to trim it to 3 7/8. Is that right? Yeah. 3 7/8 to, it's at 5 1/4 to 5 1/8. So basically I'm just making it an 1/8 of an inch smaller, which means it'll be a 1/16 of an inch smaller all the way around, like on all 4 sides. Like if I put it like that, you're going to have just a smidgen of a little shadow all the way around. I think I need, this is not quite small enough, 5 1/8. It says 5 1/8, but this one is 5 1/4. I don't know, doesn't seem, it's very scant. It's really scant. I'm going to cut off another 1/8 of an inch because I just think it's not, I think it's just a little too big, so I'm going to take off a 1/16 of an inch on both sides. So let's see if I like that better. That's the thing about paper. It's only paper, right? So you can, yeah, I like that better. Just gives me a little bit more black, but not quite a quarter of an inch. So I do like that one better. It's almost like this isn't cut straight, but I know it is. Okay, so that's that. Now, on the inside, I also need a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. And I think what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to take my stencil and I'm just going to take the brush that I had earlier. It still has blue on it. And I'm just going to lightly put a little bit in one corner, just like that, on the inside. And I'll probably do that on the envelope as well. So let's just put that aside. And that's going to go on the inside of the card. So now we can create our card. So I'm using just the corner, oops, the corner of my trimmer. There's like a little lip here in the corner. Because, you know, sometimes when you score them, they aren't perfectly straight. So I'm just pushing all sides into that little corner. And then I'm going to use my one folder and just really embellish that. No, not embellish. What do you call that? God, my brain today. Seriously. Burnish. I'm going to burnish that little score line. And so my black and background, my little black background is going to go on there. So let's put this onto the black. Okay, and I'm just going to center that right on my black panel there. Okay, beautiful. And then this is going to go onto the front of our Daffodil Delight. Just like that. Beautiful. All right. So now what we can do with our flower is I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. So let's flip it over. And let's not be cheap with the dimensionals because you don't want a saggy flower, right? They're inexpensive and you totally don't want a saggy flower. I should have shares at the Dimensional Factory, just saying. And if you think it's a little bit of dimensional overload, you know, it could be. But if you're putting something in the mail, the last thing you want it to do is lose its fluffiness or whatever. Not fluffiness, but you know what I mean. It's dimension. Thus, I guess that's why they're called dimensionals. Alrighty. So, is everyone ready for Christmas tomorrow? I wish we could be at my daughter's tomorrow or at my stepdaughter's. They both have little ones. My stepdaughter has Olivia, who's turning 3 in January, actually. And then my daughter has Isla and Aiden. Isla just turned 4 in October, and Aiden will be 3 in April. And I was talking to my daughter briefly today, and I said, are the kids wired? And she said, yeah, they are. It's like they know something's up, but they haven't grasped. They're still too young to grasp the whole Santa concept, I think. So I said, do they know that Santa's coming tonight? And she says, I don't think so. But so depending how my husband is feeling, we're hoping to go to my daughter's on Boxing Day. But we had that stomach flu there a couple of weeks. Well, it was a couple of weeks ago for me. It was last week for him. And he still isn't feeling well. So I'm not sure what we're doing, to be perfectly frank. And then the flu broke out at my stepdaughter's house, so we're not going there for sure. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop this. Do I want it like this, or do I want it like this? I don't know. I'll put it in the bottom. So I said, unfortunately, I'm quite happy to drive by. They live a couple of hours away, but I could drive by there on my way to my daughter's, and we could just leave things on the front steps, because I'm not going in there. We don't want to get sick again. Again, that depends whether or not we can even go, depending on how Glenn's feeling. Okay, so what I did earlier, and I may cut out some more, I haven't decided yet. Now these are garden green, so they don't really go. If I was going to cut out little leaves, which I may, I would do it probably an old olive to pop back here. Well, actually, that doesn't look too bad, but I think I would prefer old olive. So I may just grab a piece of old olive, but I cut these ones out of the Granny Apple Green for that other card, just to stick under, just give it a little bit more sort of dimension. So I think, let me grab a piece of old olive and I'll cut out a few of those. Okay, I'll just grab my cutter. And this is a great way, like, don't throw away your little scraps, even though they're little, because you're always going to need to cut out little things, right? So, so let me grab my dies. I need to get a magnet for this. I haven't loaded them up on a magnet quite yet. Come on. All right, so let's load them up. Some leaves and another little flower. Now you don't want them too close together, because if they shift and go over each other, you could damage your die. So be careful when you're laying them out that you do leave like a little bit of space in between there. So I'm just going to go ahead and crank this through. Oops, see, that one jumped. I think it'll be okay. Oh. All right, these ones did okay. These ones are done. Let's get these guys out of here. But this one didn't go through and this one moved. So I'm going to line that guy back up. Got lots of static in here. Holy Dinah. Okay. I'm going to press really hard till I get right there so that my die doesn't move. Okay, perfect. So there we are. All right, so these guys are in old olive. So we can finish embellishing this little card. So I just have you take your pick tool, and there's some little holes in here that you can just poke out your leaf. Sometimes if you drop it, they'll pop out too. I dropped it once and I don't know what the heck it hit, but man, it went flying across the room. So I don't really do that. All right, so there's those guys. Pop out that one. Okay, empty, empty. That one's okay. All right, So there are our dies. And here are our leaves. So pretty. I just love this set. Yeah, I'm thrilled with this bundle. I can see me using this a lot. It's one of those, you know how you buy a die set or a bundle, and it, when I bought it, I was like, it's really nice, but I'm not a floral type person. Sorry, I got a frog. But after playing with it today, oh, I love it. All right, so I'm just going to pop that down in there. And I think I'll pop this over here. Oh, so cute. Oops, I gotta cling on there. Where will I put this? Oh, this guy shifted. Get back there. There's my flower. I'm not sure where to put this. Maybe I won't even use it. Oh, I'll use it there. There we are. And just pop him right in there as well. So cute. Oh, love it. All right, so let's find some gems. I'm still reorganizing my renovated craft room, and you know, I tell you, half the time I can't find a darn thing because I'm opening drawers, closing drawers, looking for this, looking for that. Can't find a friggin' thing. But once I get it organized, then I'll be fine. Now here's some basic jewels. That's a thought. Rhinestone basics. I have the iridescent pearls. No, those are the blooming pearls. Oh, well, this is the speckled dots. I haven't even used these yet. The what are they? Adhesive backed speckled dots. And I love that green. So let's use those. Does it tell you what colors? It does not. All right. So the colors are beautiful. Not sure what they are. This looks like old olive. And this looks like mauve. What is it? Mauve. Let's say mad mauve. It's not mad mauve. It's moody mauve. Moody mauve. And this one could be crumb cake. And that could be copper clay. They are pretty. So I think I'm going to go with, oh yeah. So I'm going with the green ones. And there. Oh, I really like that. Okay, So let's get rid of this, and then we're going to do a sentiment. And I think for the sentiment, I'm going to do what I did with the other ones and white emboss on black. So let's put these back in the basket. And I have a piece of black here that I was using earlier. And I really like this, Embrace the Beauty of You. So I'm just going to keep using that one because I really, really like it. All right, so let me grab a block here. Now, for some reason, when you're stamping with the glass mat, it's almost as if you don't need to have the Stampin' Pierce mat underneath it. I've had great success with just stamping directly on the glass mat. So for whatever that's worth, now don't be alarmed that you're going to have a bunch of embossing buddy on there, because you can just take your microcloth and wipe it off when you've finished embossing. But this will stop the static from letting the embossing powder stick to the black paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and really ink that up well. Rocks, don't. And then I'm just going to pop that right on here. And got my basic white embossing powder. Now the white embossing powder comes in a package of 3. There's white, black, and clear. And then the metallic ones come, there's another set that is gold, silver, and copper, I believe, is the third one. Okay, so I'm just going to go off camera here for a sec to emboss this, because my embossing heat tool is over here. I don't know if the cord will reach. Oh yeah. I just love watching it change color. There we go. There, beautiful. Okay, so let me grab my microcloth here. And I'm just going to wipe off the embossing powder. And I'm just going to fussy cut it. Now, fussy cutting is something that you want to take your time with. I am not the best fussy cutter in the world, but I love the effect of it. I wish they had come up with the dies for the words for this too, but fussy cutting just takes a couple of minutes, so it's fine. All right, and there we go. Okay, that was easy. So let's get that out of the way. And here's our card. So, oh, how pretty is that? So let me grab my dimensionals. Where are they? So I want to have a dimensional under this part because that's going to sit off of the already raised flower. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and peel off the backing of the dimensional. And then I'm just going to stick this right here. Is that straight? Not bad. I think I just need more glue right there. It's just hanging off the flower just a smidge in there. There we go. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Now, if you wanted to, we could take some more of those gems. What did I do with them? And pop them into the center of the flowers. Let's put one in and see what we think. If we don't like it, we can always take it out. Honestly, don't love it. It's all right, I guess. No, it doesn't do anything for me. So let's take that out. Maybe this one. This is the crumb cakey one. I don't know. Not loving it. Not loving it. Okay, so never mind. I don't love that. I feel like it needs something though, so I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella. Maybe that will do it. So we'll put a little bit of Wink of Stella in here. Oh yeah, it just needed a little bit of something. And I think that that really does it. If you can see, yeah. Isn't that pretty? I think it just needed a little bit of something. And I really like that. So there's that card. So this is what I was fooling around with all day today. I hope you like this. And again, here are the other ones that we did. Oh, I didn't put any gems on this one. Let's find our purpley gems here. So these are the Purple Fine Shimmer gems, and these are part of the lavender suite that is coming out in January as well. And although I'm not typically a very purpley person, I do love these. I see I didn't even put a sentiment on this one, so I'll have to do that later, but let's go with a darker one as well. There. It's amazing how just a couple of gems will finish off a card, right? So I'll put a sentiment of some kind on it later. So there's my cards. I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration. And so these are the cards. Oh, this one doesn't have any gems on it either. I guess I was too busy playing with the stencils. Anyhow, so there's our cards. I hope you enjoyed them. Thanks for spending time with me. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I'm quickly gaining on 400 subscribers. My goal is to hit 400. I think I'm at 350 something. So I would love to hit 400 subscribers. Well, actually, my goal is to hit 500 subscribers, but I'll go for 4 today. And don't forget to hit the like button because it really does great things for my numbers. So thanks again. Have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. And thank you so much for your support over the last 5 years that I've been a demonstrator. I can't even begin to tell you what it means to me. I've made fabulous friends, and I just enjoy the camaraderie and the sisterhood. So thanks so much. Merry Christmas. Have a great new year, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.